Good evening, Greg here, burning both ends, burning on the back end of Wednesday, 11:49 p.m. Pacific. It is the 7th of November, 2018, and tonight I'm lighting up a conversation about patience, persistence. I'm big on those topics, you should know that, and discipline, right? Discipline really folds in nicely with those two, and I'm just seeing discipline kind of circle back around and show its face. I'm real deep in project management at work, at my 9 to 5. I'm real deep in, customer acquisition with Fundraise Up, my side hustle. Of course, working on myself all the time. And I have 2 beautiful kids. And so as a parent, and I just see discipline as being such a critical thing to all 4 of these things, right? With the project management, it's these little things I do every day to track what I'm doing, to remind myself all these things I'm working on, right? I'm working on, I'm almost like a systems engineer on this project. I mean, part project manager, but also part like engineer, like designing, analyzing. Right now, I'm deep in some optic specs. This ISO 10110 international standard on how to specify optical elements. So I'm really deep on that. Really want to get a good understanding about what we're putting down on our drawing, so that way we know when those quotes come back that these are, that we're investing money in optics as opposed to just throwing specs down and who knows what we're going to get. Because some of these specs, right, you can put them down and you can pay through the nose for them. And we just want to make sure that the things that we're asking for, we really need. And so that's kind of like part of the kind of systems engineer, right, is how is this optic going to work in the system inside this vacuum and so on and so forth. And with the kids, it's day to day. It's just every day showing up, discipline, leadership, role model, right? Getting into action, and because the kids learn by action, right? Of course, you can think that they're going to listen to me, but it's more kind of do what I do, right? Like watch what I do. With the self, it's discipline is just crazy. With my bike ride, with my diet, with my addictions, all of these things, right? It's discipline. Fundraise Up, right? This is the discipline of the follow-ups, right? It's sales, and so I want to make sure that when I'm following up with someone, it's the appropriate amount of time in between the last touch and the current touch, right? It shouldn't be just a couple days unless that's that was agreed on. Usually it's going to be a week or so. You want to give people time. It's a very busy time of the year for nonprofits, and so giving someone 4 or 5 days to, especially if they're going to have to go talk to someone else, if it's something that they're just going to do on their own, it's a little different, right? But if they got to, interact, and I'm just realizing my hat should be like, there we go. That was a cool sound that the hat made. That wasn't me, by the way. It looked like it was. But anyway, just giving someone enough time, and that I know that I've hit the frequency right, or the amount of space right between the last ask and the next ask, when the person is actually appreciative of the reminder, right? That's a notification that I've hit it right. When they're like, hey, thanks for the reminder, appreciate it. I'll hit that next week, or I'll get back to you on Wednesday, or something like that. I think if it's too early, then it just gets ignored, because it's like, dude, we just talked like a day and a half ago. Calm down. I told you I had to do 3 things to get back to you. Or if it's too long, then they just kind of forget. If it's like, well, that was like a month ago, bro. Where you at? So, discipline, patience, persistence, these all kind of work together. I just think it's critical. I think that, discipline and the persistence thing with kind of some of these more abstract concepts like project management, like working on myself, except exercise. Exercise is kind of somewhat straightforward, right? Because if I'm working out, I can lift more weights. I can see that. I can look in the mirror. I'm getting bigger. Or if I'm looking to lose weight, I've lost weight. The scale tells me this, right? So the feedback mechanism is a little bit more obvious. Whereas like project management, how do I know if the discipline I'm putting in is going to pay off? Like I might not know for 8 months. I might not know for right now. And a lot of this has to comes with like experience. Like I know for, like back to these optics, I know for a fact that Spending a lot of time on these specs is critical, because I'm going to appreciate that 2 months from now when we get a bunch of proposals and we're trying to compare proposals and we have solid specs and we don't have all these random weird exceptions because we have kind of mushy specs, and we have one company commenting in one direction on this spec, another one in a different direction. That they're, we want to really be able to compare these. So I know for a fact that the discipline that I can execute now will pay off later. And then also the other part of the discipline is not to get too buried into a task, and to make sure that I'm still like peeking my head up and looking like out on the playing field. Right? I'm really like a systems engineer, and so there's a lot of systems. There's a vacuum system, there's mechanical systems, there's motion control, there's the optics. What else is there? And then there are then there are the resources, and then there are the various teams and the people I got to talk to and things I have to set up. And I'm going to talk to this guy because I'm going to come into his shop in April, and so I'm going to talk to him now to get ready. And then at some point I'm going to put in a request to have floor space in his shop, and just I got to make sure I stay on top of those things. So the discipline is not to get too buried in the task and to kind of pop my head up. So. Patience, persistence, discipline, these are just critical things. And just like as far as myself goes, right, the discipline here is, I'm working on my own patience. I can be very impatient. I'm working on my own, discipline, just kind of hitting it like on a regular basis and just staying strong. And actually, this is why I like the paleo diet so much, because for me, it helps me not eat like that stuff I love to eat that I know is not good for me. Because this motivation to stay in ketosis is really critical. And I just know, like, literally a few bites of the wrong thing, and it's like, it might pop me out. So I find that if I put these systems in place for myself, it really helps me. So the paleo diet really helps me. The fact that I bike to work really helps me, because that's my exercise. This channel, just the fact that I post on a regular basis and I talk about these things really helps. I must have dozens of little processes I follow for project management, and same with Fundraise up. Like I'm really enjoying, we're using Pipedrive as our CRM. I'm really enjoying that platform. Real simple, real nice and easy. And I'd say that probably the toughest one is with the kids, right? It's, because the discipline with the kids can be tough, because they're always throwing curveballs. They're always mixing it up. Something that worked last week's not going to work this week, and and every day they're getting smarter and smarter, and they're able to work the system. And I guess I'm the system, right? Or the parental system, right? So it's that's probably the biggest challenge and the toughest thing to have discipline around. I think with that one, I think it's more of a patient game, right, with the kids. But yeah, so discipline. Big, discipline's just rolling back around in front of me, and I'm embracing it, and I think it's working. So I will wrap there. So this channel is all about my journey as an aspiring entrepreneur. Really enjoying the journey. I have to admit, there are certainly some things that are that are pushing on me in weird ways. I don't say pushing on me, but that are challenging my patience. Right, definitely. And I'm talking like long-term patience, not like I got irritated today because something didn't happen as fast as I'm talking about, looking out 6, 12, 18 months, that kind of patience. So it's all about the stuff I'm learning, the stuff I'm trying, the stuff I'm doing, stuff I'm messing up. And so subscribe if you like what you hear. Comment down below if there's anything I can do to help. Please ask. I'd love to help. And that's about all we got. So there's some cool links in the description. The beat in the background, G Money's my alter ego. I write these beats. I love the drums. Check them out on SoundCloud if you like that kind of thing. And other than that, rock and roll. So get some sleep. Wake up tomorrow, crush it. It's Thursday. Crush it, light it up, inspire folks, do great things. and I will ent you in the morning.